We would always wish that the humans come out victorious. It is a cat and mouse kind of a scenario. We know that the technologies have been evolving, but the humans have always had an upper hand, and I wish that we will continue to see that trend going forward as well. Keep learning, and that is a journey. And this is very important both for individuals as well as for the organizations. AI is already in the spotlight, and as we speak, there are about 2 million plus models available. The candidates that we see beyond 15 years of experience, and they come with a wealth of understanding of IT, networks, including cyber and risk. We look at them as being the consultants. Cybersecurity is no more a second fiddle to an IT organization. It was a primary role an organization took, and it was part of board discussions as well.
Hello everyone. Welcome to this podcast series on Skilling for Future. It has been a delight to host today Sandeep Vijayaraghavan, Executive Vice President of Terralogic, Chief Mentor of Reva Academy for Corporate Excellence in Cybersecurity, and delighted to have you, Sandeep. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast. It is wonderful to be associated with Reva for the past 8 years. It has been an excellent journey for me.
Before we begin to understand the nuances of cybersecurity, let us go back to maybe 20 plus years of the stellar careers that you have built in cybersecurity. You have been working in consulting firms, product security firms, moving on to entrepreneurial stint, and now going back to managed services, leading large organizations. How have been your journey as a cybersecurity professional?
I would start by saying that I'm privileged to have the 20 plus years of experience into cybersecurity. Though I started off my career as a network engineer, subsequently got into an OEM, which is one of the leading OEMs on firewall as a technology. And today we see the organization doing a lot more than the perimeter security. And this is Checkpoint, which I talk about. Moving to RSA, my career has been a competency lead wherein the objective was to deploy SIM solutions. And we've seen over the past 10 years how SIM has grown or evolved as a product and technology from being a correlation engine to an EDR and an XDR today. So I've had a stint with RSA roughly about 5.5 years. Moving to managed services organization and consulting firms, I had a larger stint with one of the leading consulting firms, subsequently built my own career through an entrepreneurial engagements wherein I was leading a team of about 75 consultants, and we engage our teams through our offerings wherein we were able to build our practices around the consultative based approaches. Subsequently, we've been acquired by one of the leading brands wherein I'm executive as the practice on cybersecurity, which is with Terralogic. And the stint has been for the past 6 years. And I've seen there's been continuous growth in what I've been doing, and my aspirations have been met there.
That's excellent. I think any professionals being stuck onto one technology versus over a period of time, evolving with times, adapting to the changing needs, I think that's the way to go. So let's move on to, from a attacker's point of view, that earlier we had some few attacks. Now we are looking at the attack landscape has changed, attack vectors have changed. For the past few years, what has been your biggest learning in terms of changing from an attack scenario perspective?
Let me break this down for about a period of 15 to 16 years. Cut to 2010 to 2014, what we were largely engaging was the kind of attacks wherein the services were brought down, right? We've seen a lot of DDoS, or we've seen services of an application, which was an e-commerce applications going down. We've seen cyber criminals doing this for fun, right? And we call them the hobby criminals. Eventually, we see them, or the threat actors, evolving for larger financial gains. And that's where the whole change happened, wherein the adoption of very sophisticated uh, trends of cybersecurity was seen, and the organization had to adopt it. And at that point, we see that the cybersecurity is no more a second fiddle to an IT organization. It was a primary role an organization took, and it was part of board discussions as well. 2015 onwards, we've started seeing the attacks being more sophisticated. And here are when we've understood the ransomwares as well as some of the malwares, which has actually disrupted an organization providing services to their customers. Come to 2019, we are now seeing more attack, which are agentic attacks or the AI based or AI driven attacks. And we see these are evolving at a very rapid pace. And that's where the challenges has grown. The adaptability of the cyber professionals has to be evolved, right? Typically, only defensive mechanism wouldn't work. We'll have to start looking at the proactive mechanism. And that is what I've been seeing over the past few years now.
Okay, this seems to be very scary, especially when we have stories now, agents attacking agents, and most of the developers are building multi-agent frameworks through MCPs, and without even owners knowing that the attacks are happening at your backyard. How organizations have evolved over a period of time. Earlier, it was just antivirus or some firewalls. Now we have multiple technologies. How have you seen this journey of proactive defensive layers organizations are setting up?
You rightly picked that up, Shinu. We've seen a journey where organizations were adept only securing the perimeters through one of the leading firewalls. Eventually, we've seen organizations adopting to technologies where they are able to correlate events from multiple controls. These controls were on the perimeter, on the endpoint, and also the crown jewels where their applications are being protected. Eventually, we've seen the evolution of correlation engines to more of an XDR based approach where the visibility is not just at few siloed technologies being correlated, but it is an entire attack kill chain that was defined as a use case. And we break this down in a manner that we understand an attack at an early phase, and we see how the organization respond to it through playbooks. As we look at the current ecosystem, we understand the adoption of these technologies are more to enhance their proactive support of detecting and breaking down a situation wherein all the systems are not compromised. And as we see some of the systems being compromised, there are methods adopted to build back the systems so that the organization do not go out of business. So proactive based approaches have been taken up, and these are with multiple controls that have also evolved over a period of time.
And especially in the quantum based security, which is now challenging all the encryption layers. How are we being prepared from an organization's point of view?
A great question, Dr. Shinu. Let me add a perspective to this. Let's understand the risk management methodology adopted by organizations. As we see, the organization understand their asset landscape, and larger protections is around the asset landscape. Very few of the customers I've seen where they have an inventory of their cryptography or an encryption key landscape. With the new age trends that we see with the adoption of quantum computing, we'll see that the adoption of encryption, be it on the data which is at rest or at transit, is going to be exposed. And that is where the challenge lies to have much more robust systems able to protect from these kind of attacks in the future. As we know, the cyber criminals are able to harvest the data today. And that's simply because they would look at the evolutions of quantum computing and start decrypting at a later stage. And we are going to see attacks at a much larger magnitude as we see today.
Okay, so changing the gears now, for the past 8 years, you have been part of our master's programs as well as corporate programs in cybersecurity. And thanks to mentors like you, very senior industry professionals who have contributed building this program, which is now accepted by various 500 plus working professionals who have gone through our programs. What has been your motive to wear this hat of an academic support from a your busy schedule?
We've started off at about a period where when we look at the skills in the industry, or if we were to look at some of the programs run by very leading organizations, we saw the candidates having a lot of theoretical understanding, but very limited exposure to the newer cybersecurity trends. And that's where our conversation led to building the programs. And as we talk today, we are running our 16th batch. And over the past 8 years, the program has definitely evolved. As your vision to build a program which is aligned to the current frameworks that the organizations adopt, and these have to be practical approaches taken. The whole idea was to bring in the exposures that we from the industry mentors bring onto the table. If you look at the programs today, the participant gained access to the sophisticated SOC labs, which is set up out here with leading technologies on EDRs, XDRs, the response mechanisms on the SOAR, and the cyber range scenarios where we already have about 16 plus sophisticated scenarios. We have an isolated environment where we play with ransomware. Now, typically, this is not possible in an ecosystem where the organizations are build their systems. So that exposure is what engages the participant to be future ready for the organization. Over the last many years, we've been able to bring in these skills into our organization, and they are ready to take up the engagements and projects for our customers. And we see in the current trends where the adoptions of AI and quantum computing that we just spoke about, our programs are already aligned to it. Right? That's where we see the alignment and the progress in the programs. And this vision of Reva, Race, and yourself with all the aligned mentors is definitely what is looked up by the industry and adopted by the organizations.
Thank you. It's our honor as well to associate with you. Now, from a participant's perspective, we typically have 3 segments of participants. One who come from a freshers who have just completed their bachelor's and joining our master's programs in cybersecurity. Similarly, we have people who are from IT organizations but about 5 to 10 years of experience, want to transition into cybersecurity. Plus, we have 20 plus years of experience who want to build leadership skills because one of the verticals they will eventually manage is cybersecurity. So, keeping these 3 segments in mind, what kind of skills is what you would hire people for, and how do we prepare them for?
At the entry levels, the kind of skills that we would look at is the participant understanding the network and the network security from an organization. They should have detailed or adept knowledge of cloud, because we're seeing that the computing or I would say the adoption of cloud has brought in an environment which is now exposed, and wouldn't say that it is well protected. So understanding these environment is very important for the entry level professionals. For the mid-level professionals, the mid to senior level professional, that is where we would like to see them building the skills on investigation and threat detections. The candidates that we see beyond 15 years of experience, and they come with a wealth of understanding of IT, networks, including cyber and risk. We look at them as being the consultants, and these consultants are important in our journey because the strategy and the governance for our customers has to be aligned to the future trends of cybersecurity. And that's where these consultants help us build the confidence of the customers.
So let us kind of look at maybe what you are looking for towards the future. That how do you envisage yourself maybe in another 5 years? What are the quantum changes that you would see in cybersecurity space?
AI is already in the spotlight. And as we speak, there are about 2 million plus models available. I wouldn't see the threat actors spending a lot of time trying to do a reconnaissance of the organization and understanding the ecosystem. Now, these models are ready to do those learnings for threat actors. Hence, the attacks are going to be more sophisticated. What we would see more from a skill perspective is understanding the changing dynamics. Now, when I say changing dynamics, is we also have seen ransomware mutating, or I would say malware mutating, adopting to the environment, also being able to expose some of the vulnerabilities and the gaps on the systems. Where we see this trend is only going to increase. It is important that organizations adopt to some of the newer uh, control systems. We've already been talking of agentic or LLM firewalls. And at the same time, we're looking at skills to be defined and developed for the practitioners in the organization. So that's where I see AI-based attacks are definitely going to increase. And this is going to be much more sophisticated at a very larger scale.
I think some of the projects that which we today train our participants or they build their capabilities are more from an LLM security or from an AI powered security features in their controls. I think thanks to all of your support for
Yeah, so we've seen that now. These are two independent programs over a period of time. So one has been the cybersecurity, and the other program has been AI, and both of these programs are one of the leading programs. What we've been able to do over the last couple of years is integrate these programs, right? So the participant get the flavor of both, the mix of both. So the sophistication that we see from an attack perspective because of the adoption of AI is not a challenge because the skills are available and it is just to be owned by the organizations. So that's a great approach that has been taken by REVA and the race department for our participants.
Okay, so towards the end, let us put you on
I'm going to be on
seat.
spot.
Hot seat. This is the rapid fire round that we have 4 questions and we would want you to be brief and crisp as much as possible. The first question is one piece of advice that you would want to give cybersecurity aspirants.
The piece of advice that I would like to give is keep learning, and that is a journey. And this is very important both for individuals as well as for the organizations.
Perfect. The second question is one common mistake that the professionals often make in this field which can hamper their career.
A common mistake is in cybersecurity world, you understand that you will at some point be exposed to the kind of attacks. It is very important to be composed at that given point of time, understand from where or how the attack has originated and how it has percolated in the organization. So it is important to collaborate. It is important to build that environment and collaborate with the right stakeholders. So collaboration is a very important aspect which I see could be a big challenge for our consultants.
Okay, the third question is one single emerging skill that they must immediately learn.
A single emergent skill is defining their skills around the AI based or the newer quantum based attack scenarios is what we would like to see them build on.
And the last question on the cybersecurity rapid fire round is in the next 5 years in this cybersecurity war, who is going to win, the man or the machine?
We would always wish that the humans come out victorious, and it is a cat and mouse kind of a scenario. We know that the technologies have been evolving, but the humans have always had an upper hand, and I wish that we will continue to see that trend going forward as well.
It has been a pleasure speaking with you, Sandeep, and it's
Thank you.
always an honor to associate, and we hope your guidance will be always there with us to build our cybersecurity capabilities, helping organizations defend their crown jewels.
Thank you for the time, and it was wonderful interacting with you. Hope to see this trend continuing, and we'll have more conversations as we go forward.
Thank you. So that is wrap up from our end. This is Sandeep Vijayaraghavan for you, and we do hope that you find the conversations useful. And to know more about our programs, please connect with us at raise.reva.edu.in and do like, comment, and subscribe our channel. Thank you.